Hello CSF families. Today we're going to be looking at how to apply for a CSF scholarship if you're already currently receiving a CSF scholarship. This means that you would have received a CSF scholarship in the previous school year and now you're applying again so that you can receive another scholarship funding allowed through CSF. Currently we're on our Family Access page. To get to this page you're going to want to go to csfomaha.org. Go to our How to Apply page, scroll to the bottom, and click on Apply Now. It should show you the screen, and I'm going to have you click Renew under CSF Scholar. Once you get to this page, you're going to want to type in the email and password that you set up last year when applying. If you are not aware of your email and password, your school knows your email, and you can hit this Forgot My Password, and it'll take you through steps to fix that. If that, for whatever reason, comes up with issues, feel free to call the CSF office and we can reset that password for you. Now, once you've logged in with your email and password, it'll direct you to this page. This is just welcoming you to the application, and if you need any help, there's some resources at the bottom here. But what I'm going to have you do is go to this blue header, and you're going to click on Application. It'll show you these 4 steps that you're going to take to begin the application. You're going to click Begin Application on that green button. Now this first step is over parent-guardian information. So this should all auto-populate to what you put in last year. The only thing we ask is that you just double check and make sure everything's correct, that your address hasn't changed or your primary phone number hasn't either. At this time, if you do want to change your password or your email, you're more than welcome to do that. And then if employment status or anything has changed within the last year, we'd like to know about that as well. But we'll say that, yep, everything looks good, phone's still the same, address still the same, and I like that email and password. I'm going to go to the bottom and hit Save and Continue. Now, this next part of the application is called Renew Current Scholarships. Each scholarship is tied to every child that you apply for. So, in the past year, I applied for 2 students that received a scholarship, and what parents will often forget is to renew for each of those children. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click Renew on my first child, and the first thing it'll list here is the school year that you're applying for, the grade that they will be going into, and the school that they're attending. And we'll just click Renew Student. And then I'm going to want to remember to do that for my next child. Hit Renew. Shows the school year, the grade they're going into, the school they're going into. I'll hit Renew Student. And at this time, if I do want to add another sibling, let's say I have another child that's going to be entering into kindergarten, I'll hit that Add New Student button, and I'll be able to type in all their information and renew for them as well. And then I will hit Save and Continue. And I can continue to hit Add New Sibling as many times as I need to with as many kids as I'm applying for. But we'll say I just have 3 kids, they're all renewed for. I'm going to go ahead and hit Continue to Next Step. And then it's going to ask me if I'm sure I've renewed all the appropriate students, and I know that I have, so I can hit Confirm. You should know that once you get past that page, you are not able to go back and edit anything. If anything does need to be changed, just go ahead and contact the CSF office and we can change that for you. And now we've landed on our household financial information. Same as last year, the first thing it'll have you input is the number of adults versus the number of dependents in your household. Our next section is asking if your household size differs from what's listed on your federal 1040. What this means is, say that the father of my children is claiming one of those kids on his 1040, then I'm going to have to list that child, their birth date, and their relationship to me. This way, when we look through applications and process them, we're able to recognize what your situation is and that you do in fact have 3 dependents in your household. One of them is just being claimed by the father. Our next portion of the application is asking if you agree to share your financial information with the school you're applying for, keeping in mind that your school is able to check for incomplete or incorrect information and can follow up with you, whereas Children's Scholarship Fund is unable to do so. So for me, I'm going to say yes, I would like my school to see that information and be able to check on correct and complete information for my application. Now this next portion of the application is over income that you received within the last year. The first one is asking whether or not I filed for a federal income tax return. I'm going to say yes, that I did do that, and we'll say that I made $123 in the last year. And over here, you're able to upload that documentation for us. Same as last year, we're going to need to see that information. That way we can check income and base that off of the scholarships that we give. So you can click Upload File, click on that document you want to upload, and have it there. If you'd like to remove, you may click Remove, and if you have another picture that you would like to upload, you can do it in this spot here. And you can also take a picture on your phone, upload it that way, or send it to the CSF office via mail, fax, or you can email it to us. Now I'm going to go through these next questions. It's asking if I received child support, alimony, adoption subsidy, aid to dependent children. I'll say no on all those, but I'll say yes, I do receive SNAP. I'll put the amount there. And then let's say I just don't have that information currently to upload, so I'm going to leave that blank for now. And we're going to say that I didn't receive Social Security or Section 8 housing, and that I have no other additional income. If you want to know more details on what additional income is, you can hover over that question mark and it'll list things such as veterans disability, unemployment compensation, things of that nature. And then if you have any other additional information on your finances that you'd like to share with us, you're more than welcome to do it here. And the next thing we'll go through here is just our verification statements. These will be the same as was last year. First one is that you promise to pay your school that required family commitment of $500. That's an excess tuition and is between you and your school. You promise to ensure your children maintain a minimum 90% of school attendance. Promise to complete the online parent survey in the spring, and this link will be sent to you via email and you can fill it out there. And you promise to comply with the standards of your children's chosen school, and that you certify that all the information provided on this form is true and complete to the best of your knowledge. And then we'll just have you do an electronic signature at the bottom, and then hit Save and Continue. Now at this point in the application, you'll see that each one of these steps has been highlighted green except for this last step, step 4, which is called cover letter and is highlighted in yellow. What this means is that if you weren't able to upload all of your financial documentation when originally filling out the application and you wish to fax it to us or to mail it to our office, then we're going to need you to print off this cover letter and send it with that documentation. So on this cover letter, it will list your name, your students' names, and then those required documents. Now I know that I did upload something for my adjusted gross income, which were my federal tax returns. So I don't need to send that in, but I was unable to upload SNAP when I applied, so I do know that I need to send that in at some time. But let's say that I don't want to mail it in and I don't want to fax it in. I would rather just upload it myself. I'm definitely able to do that. What you'll do is you'll log back in via the Family Access page, same way you did when you applied, and you can go back to your family financials, and right here it'll have those orange buttons. And I know that I did my adjusted gross, so I don't need to worry about that, but I am going to click on food stamps, also known as SNAP, and I can click on that and upload my file there. So I'll click Upload, click on that document, or again, take a picture of it and upload it that way via your phone, and then I'll hit Submit. Now I know I have that information in there. If I find out that I put in the wrong year or I need to adjust something due to what the CSF procedures are, I can come back in and do that as well. You should also know that you'll receive a submission email from CSF, and this just lets you know that you've submitted your application and that we'll be looking at those statuses later on, and your award letter, funding allowed, will be sent out on July 1st. You should know that just because you received this submission email does not mean that your application is complete and correct. For your application to be complete and correct, we need to have that financial documentation within the correct year. If you did allow your school to look at that financial documentation, they will be able to give you updates on that. However, CSF does not have the capability to follow up with all of our families about their financial documentation. Another good thing to be aware of, if you haven't completed that spring parent survey sent to you via email, you can also finish that on this Family Access page. If you go up to that blue header and hit Parent Survey, and then to your right there will be a button that says Take Survey. I'll have you click on that, and you can fill out that survey for CSF. Now, if you have any more questions on how to fill out a CSF application as a current family, just go ahead and give our offices a call and we'd be happy to help you.